Hello world, Double Thumbs here. So you just got your Sony A6400 and your kit lens might be good enough to get you started on your journey to make YouTube videos. But the brightest this lens goes is f3.5, meaning your low light videos may not be as impressive as you want it to be. So you want to look at some prime lenses. So which one should you get? In my non-professional opinion, the Sigma 16mm F1.4 would be the best. This lens has amazing image quality and is one of the brightest crop sensor lens at f1.4. And it's relatively affordable too at $399, so I think this is the best choice. But is it really? Let's go find out. So the first strength of the Sigma 16 is its image quality and its bokeh. And its image quality is significantly better than the kit lens that you start out with. And being one of the brightest lenses for APS-C system at f1.4, you can really see the blurry background that we all love, or the bokeh. And you can also get some very nice low light videos because of the wide aperture. And one of the biggest reasons that I bought the Sony A6400 was to get some great low light videos where my cell phone just wouldn't be able to keep up. And the kit lens was better than the cell phone image quality in terms of low light situations, but it was still pretty grainy and it wasn't what I was expecting. And with this, I had no issues, and any situations or any lighting situations I can shoot and get decent or really good image quality. And the second positive of the Sigma 16 is its fast autofocus. For a non-native lens, the Sigma has very reliable autofocus, especially with newer systems like the A6400, which has a great autofocus system. I've never really had any issues while using this lens. But I did find that older cameras like the A5000, the AF with this lens does take a little bit of time, so it might even be quicker to do manual focus. But anything A6100 and above, the autofocus, it's not going to be a problem. It should be quick and reliable. The autofocus motor noise also, it's pretty quiet. I'd never notice anything that's really bothersome. If you're really gonna try to listen to it, you'll notice it, but otherwise you're not gonna notice it. Shouldn't be a problem. And the third positive of the Sigma 16 is its price. $399 for a fast wide-angle prime lens. That's f1.4. It's basically free. No, it's not. But this was my first lens that I bought after the kit lens, and I did a lot of research before buying this, and after a year of owning it, I do think it was more than fair of a price at $399. And if you can only buy one lens after your kit lens, then I would say a fast prime lens like the Sigma 16 or Sigma 30 or 56 or the Sony 50 or the 35mm would be the ones to get to give you that ability to shoot in low light situations. And the last positive of the Sigma 16 for me would be the weather sealing. And the Sigma 16mm is a weather sealed lens, and combined with the body A6400, which also has weather sealing, it'll survive if you ever get caught in a rainstorm. I mean, it's not gonna have the same weather sealing capabilities of the GH5 or the G9 that Panasonics provide, but it's gonna survive a rainstorm. But mainly when I encounter these situations, I just use my action cam anyway, so I've never had to test it out, but it's good to know that it's there. Okay, now on to the negative of the Sigma 16mm. And the biggest and the only weakness in my opinion is the lack of stabilization. If this lens had the stabilization of the Sony A5 f4, it would be the perfect lens. But then it probably will be $13.99, not $3.99. And you can definitely use it handheld, but you're gonna get a very shaky footage, especially compared to other lenses that have lens stabilization, unless you have gimbal hands. And comparing it to the footage from the Sony A105, it's the Sigma 16 is definitely a shakier footage. And since the A6400 doesn't have any in-body stabilization, the only way to stabilize the image would be through a gimbal. And this adds size and weight, and since this lens is relatively big and heavy, it won't fit on a lighter gimbal like the Zhiyun Crane M2. So you have to use a decent sized gimbal like the Zhiyun Weebill Lap or the Weebill S, and it becomes a pretty big one. In my honest opinion, I don't use that kit setup too often because I'm not a professional. I just make YouTube videos, so it's mainly used as a tripod sit down kind of a lens, and anything that I have to do a lot of moving with, I just use the DJI Osmo Pocket. And the second negative of this lens is its size and its weight. And it's relatively a big lens, as you can see here, especially compared to smaller prime lenses like the Rokinon or Samyang 12mm F2. And it also weighs a decent amount at 405 grams compared to the Rokinon, which is about 260 grams. And also compared to other Sigma lenses like the Sigma 30mm F1.4, it's about 260 grams, so it's a lot heavier than that. And probably the biggest comparator would be the Sony 35mm F1.4, which weighs about 150 grams, which is less than half of this lens. So if small size is your biggest priority, then the Sony 35 F1.4 might be the one to get. So in conclusion, the Sigma 16mm F1.4 is the best lens or the best prime lens for the Sony APS-C system. And since it's only also available on the Canon M-mount and the Micro Four Thirds system, so you can even apply to those kind of mounts. And this Sigma stays on my A6400 almost 99% of the time. The only time that I wouldn't use it is if I'm out there. And the other lens or the next lens to complete your camera bag would be the Sony A18-105. The Sigma for the wide angle, sit down, low light situations, and the Sony for anything that you're moving around, walk around, daylight zoom situations. I'll talk about the combo in a future video, but what do you think about the Sigma 16mm? Let me know down below, and until next time,